the blueprint to make money in healthcare from home. Let's get into it. Now, some people think the only way to make money in healthcare, good money now, is if you are a physician, that's a doctor, or you're in nursing, a registered nurse, LPN, some type of nursing. Like, that's the only way, and that it's going to take you years even to be a physician or a nurse and work in healthcare. But the caveat here, if you caught it in the title, is to work from home, right? In 3 to 4 months. That's why I made this video today. Now, but there is an actual blueprint to follow. And if you follow this blueprint, and before I give you the blueprint, let me tell you what you don't need. You don't need a medical background. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars as in tuition. And you don't need a 4-year degree. Ask me how I know. All right, so let's get into it. Now, I usually get 2 questions about medical coding. And it's crazy because I've been in this profession, well, before I did the entrepreneur, over 2 decades, 25 years. And these are the 2 questions I ask myself, right? What is medical coding? And is medical coding hard? I can't believe in 2020-ish, if that's a thing, 2025, 22, that we're still asking those questions. But I'm going to break it down. So the first question, a lot, is medical coding hard, right? I know it's good money. I've heard great things about it. Is it hard? And when I get that question, I'm reminded Warren Buffett. Right? Warren Buffett gave an excellent quote. He said, to collapse decades into days, you need to get a mentor or a coach. Let me say that again for the people in the back. To collapse decades, right? I said I've been in the profession for close to 25 years now. So that's 2.5 decades. To collapse that into days, you would get, as Warren Buffett put it, a mentor or a coach. What? I needed that quote years ago. and just to piggyback off that, if you're signing up, or if you're doing anything in life, right? Not even like your profession. Say you're needing relationship goals. Would you go to someone who's on their 3rd marriage and that damn marriage is toxic? Nope. I'm going to ask you about chicken. If I come to your house and you cooking good and the whole neighborhood want to eat your food, then I'm going to ask you, girl, how you make that chicken? Something like that, and that's basically what it is. You want to follow someone who has found success in the area that you're seeking to find out or to learn more about, right? And the second question, what is medical coding? Okay, medical coding in a nutshell is, and I'm gonna give you an example. All right, I go to the doctor and or the hospital, and I have chest pain, and they find out I have pneumonia. So the coder's gonna get that chart. And the coder is gonna, the physician will write pneumonia. The coder will put the code J18.9. That's the code for pneumonia. Another example of what coders do, okay, you go to the hospital to deliver your baby. You're pregnant. And your last pregnancy, you had a cesarean section. And for the women out there, they know what the cesarean section is. But this particular time, this baby, you're going to have a vaginal birth, right? There's a code for that. So that code is 034.11. That's called a VBAC, vaginal birth after cesarean. And so that's what coding is. In the pneumonia example, I mean, it gets more in detail. If the person has hypertension, you're going to add a second code, I10, that's hypertension. If the patient has diabetes, you're going to add the diabetic code, which is right now E11.9 for diabetes, and so on and so forth. That is medical coding. So you think you could do that? You think you could do that from home, where you're not like in direct patient care, where your career is not a job just over broke, where I say our profession is not recession proof, because right, life happens. However, healthcare, medical coding is recession resistant, which means it's not going to be touched because it's directly dealing with the revenue, the monies, right? The surgeons get paid on the skill coders, all the way to the janitor, housekeepers, cafeteria workers. I don't even know all the different parts, but you get the gist of it. The importance of medical coding. This is what makes this skill, this high in-demand skill, recession resistant. That is the crux of what medical coding is. Now back to the blueprint. The blueprint, right? If followed to the T, will get you success. It will collapse decades into days. The first part of the blueprint is making sure you follow the right cat. And that's basically layman's terms for what Warren Buffett said, right? Don't just follow any cat, follow the right cat. Get in a program or a course where it is designed to give you what you need and none of what you don't need. You know, sometimes most of these programs, I hear people say they're spending a year and a half, 18 months. So they're padding those programs with so much information, and half of the information you don't even need to do your job, right? And probably a lot of the information, I have a lot of students where they went through certain programs and they had to kind of unlearn to relearn to be successful in the field. And that's crazy. So, yeah, that's just crazy. So you follow the right, follow the right program. And that's basically what coding is. And that makes it recession resistant. And it's one more thing I wanted to point out. So right here, I put together a free download, which will answer all your questions, and followed by a free webinar that you can also access to further go into your questions. In the comments, in the description below, and I'll also put the links in the comment section for the course. Or if you're not ready for the course, this is what I'm going to do, because God asked me to, and I kicked so long, guys. I should have been started this YouTube channel, but I'm being obedient to God. And I know it's somebody, if this video found you, and if you made it to this part in the video, just know that nothing just happens and there are no coincidences in life. So in the description, I have 2 free products. I have a free download where it's the top 10 common medical coding questions answered. And this is like questions, answers, everything about the profession that you may have a question about from someone who has been in the industry. Not only have I done inpatient coding, outpatient coding, I've worked government contracts, CMS, which is Medicaid and Medicare program auditing, and traveled. I've been in 35 states in the U.S., and I've traveled to the Philippines to teach people medical coding there to do medical coding here. So if that's not ammunition enough to say that medical coders are needed, They are a big part of the healthcare community, and we need them. And not just any coders, highly trained and skilled coders will never have an issue with, I don't even want to say finding a job, because it's not a job, it's definitely a career. So like I was saying, in the description, there's going to be a link for the free download, and it'll also be a link to a free masterclass, where it is a masterclass of video where it'll further go into what medical coding is, the different areas of medical coding. Actually, I'm going to be doing a playlist as well, because there's so many different dynamics of medical coding, and that's part of the blueprint as well. You have to know if you want to do inpatient coding, outpatient coding, there's ambulatory surgery coding, there's ED, which is the emergency room coding, there's physician office coding. So you get the gist of it. You know, this is why medical coding is so important, because it's not billing. We know billing, it's a part of billing in the sense that the billers get the medical codes and the diagnoses and the procedure codes from the coders, and the billers bill the insurance companies and the payers. So look in the description box, click the link for the free download, the webinar, and there's also a link to the website. I'll put that down there as well. You can book a free one-on-one consult with me. Go on the website, www.toshtalkscoding.com, and you can book a free, I think it's a 15 or a 30-minute consult where we can dig further into medical coding and see if this is something that you are interested in. But like I said, I'm going to have a playlist. God asked me to talk about medical coding, and I know it's probably someone out there that I'm supposed to be on YouTube sharing this career in this industry with. So I'm just being obedient. And if that person is you, I will see you at the top in class or in the YouTube videos. Thanks again for joining me today. I send you peace, love, and light. Gratitude for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.